Bienvenidas, we are back, Valle de Guadalupe. This is the magnificent wine country of Baja California. And we're going to take you along as we explore and learn and really enjoy some wonderful gastronomical experiences, adventures, and of course the wine. But first, I have to remind you, this is Latina Literati. If you enjoy wonderful stories, great books, interesting people from past and present, then this is the channel for you. Returning to Mexico is always a pleasure. When you cross the border, we're about 70 miles from the California border, it says, "Aquí es donde comienza la patria." And you really feel like you're in your home. Everyone is so welcoming. It's just wonderful to be here again. And because it's so close, and it has so many gastronomic adventures and wonderful wines and just beautiful hotels, you're gonna come back again and again, as we have. And in fact, I'll post here the video that we made last year where I talked about the history and the indigenous people that lived here so that you can take a look at that and maybe it's of interest to you. But we are here once again to enjoy the beautiful Valle of Guadalupe, and it's actually made up of several valleys. It's really much larger than just one valley, and over 150 vintners are waiting here to share their wines with you. It's really wonderful, wonderful place. And everywhere you go, everyone is perfectly bilingual. The wines are great, as well as, of course, the accompaniments that they have for you, whether it's the cheese boards or other food, really, really good, all locally sourced. So it's kind of wonderful to help the farmers around. Our invitation to you is to come out and enjoy this beautiful place. On this trip, we began our adventure at a restaurant called Alpa. And they're originally in Mucha, which is one of the very luxurious wineries and resorts here. And they moved into town, into Ensenada. Highly recommend it. And you can see here some of the dishes that we tried. Really wonderful salads and camarones al ajillo, which is shrimp and garlic sauce, and mushroom risotto. Really wonderful dinner feast for the senses. And so really recommend that restaurant. As always, I will include the restaurants that I mentioned. I'll include them in the description box so that you can get in contact with them and make reservations if you'd like to try them. We went along the wine route, or the Ruta Vinícola, where you can see that the soil, the climate, and everything that is needed to create some very impressive wines exists. Here are some vistas of the beautiful vineyards and mountains and nature of the area. Really wonderful area. We ended up at El Cielo. El Cielo is considered one of the top vineyards to visit. It has a wonderful restaurant, 95 hectares of vineyards, and it also has a hotel and some great restaurants to try. So we spent the afternoon there. Here are also some bits to show you what we saw in El Cielo. And when you arrive there, they actually say, "Bienvenidos al Cielo." I think that's wonderful. It's a fun place to visit, really wonderful. It's highly recommended. Great day, great visit. Blanca is where we're having lunch today. Again, top-rated restaurant. The gastronomic fair in Valle de Guadalupe will surprise you. Award-winning chefs using local ingredients, fusion foods that are just surprising as they just celebrate the senses and really make you feel welcomed in this beautiful place, in this wonderful valley, Valle de Guadalupe. And now for my favorite part of the video, book recommendations. And this year I thought, well, Valle, let's talk about books that are set in Baja California. And the first is a book on a naturalist walk of Baja California, and that combines history and wildlife and animal information in stories. So I thought that would be interesting for someone that wanted to know a bit more about the incredible animals and flora, fauna that you find in Baja California. The second two books I thought we would introduce, and we've talked about him before, Luis Alberto Urrea. He was born in Tijuana. He has taught creative writing all over the United States. He is an acclaimed writer, 17 books, and 2 of them at least are set in Baja California. So the first is The House of Broken Angels, which talks about a father's last birthday party and everything that happens, all the adventures when he tells his son, you've got to go find someone in Tijuana who's got to see me before I pass away, and the adventure begins. So I won't go into too many details to spoil it, but all of Urrea's books are really readable, wonderful books, and he is so good at storytelling because he's able to capture the bilingual, bicultural nuances of the US and Mexico, and he's just wonderful. He's a great writer. I love him. And the second book is To the Beautiful North. And obviously that's an adventure of a family that goes back and forth from the US and Mexico, because it is until very recently that you couldn't. I mean, we're talking about less than 50 years, maybe a bit more, that it was actually criminalized to go back and forth. In the past, you could work in the US, come back to your family, go back to the US and work, because the US economy is completely dependent on labor from other countries. And it's absolute hypocrisy to say, oh, we don't want immigrants. That's a lie. The US would collapse in a minute without immigrant labor. And everything we eat, everything we wear, the houses that we live in are all built by people from other countries. So let's be real. You can tell how absolutely ferocious I am on this subject, but it is an incredible injustice to even be discussing family separation, Biden and Harris. As always, thank you so much for coming to the end of the video. This is a joint journey. I would love to hear from you, places that you'd like us to visit or books you'd like us to talk about, or what are you reading? What are the things that you're doing? We would love you to subscribe to Latina Literati. This channel is made up of a community and we'd love you to be a part of it. So as always, mucho cariño, mucha salud, mucho amor. Gracias.